So, ladies and gentlemen, we would oppose to allow countries to form Olympic coalition. You may ask why? Well, we think it's giving much more negative effect rather than positive effects. It's only causing many problems to the countries nor by the athletes. So, I will, before I went into my speech, I would like to went into my rebuttals by the affirmative team. So, my first rebuttal is how it was based on 2 or 3 countries basically give much more the benefit of it will be likely pushing into corruption and the misuse benefit to the government country. Since the house of the coalition were developing countries, it would likely to corrupted by the government teams and didn't pushing the infrastructure to the becoming the next house. So that's my first rebuttal. And the second one is that how it's going to be judged by the people because of due to the unfairness since many hospitals likely to pass their athlete because for to become a winner. That is my second rebuttal. And the third is that this only causing the bilateral relation would likely to be break apart because in common opinion due to the political rules that got bring into the sports, this causing the countries of the host would likely to become an enemy. So I will went into my speech, but before that, I would likely to divide it again to 2 sections, which is the background and the argument. So the first one is by the definition. Olympic coalition is a hypothetical concept of partnership where countries in the Olympic teams opt to compete together in specific sport at the Olympics. Also, an organized partnership with the Olympic movement designed to promote social change, inclusion, or refugee support. But we think it's not pushing into a good effect of this and only leading to much trouble. So, moving on into my status quo, due to the partnership of two countries or more, this will likely making 2 teams divide to become one official team. This causing some of the member teams don't get the opportunity to represent their national team, leading that they don't have their potential of their skill be shown. So, moving on into the stakeholder, which the first one is the government team, the second one is the Olympic Committee, and the third is the Olympic athlete. So, moving on into my agency, the government team is the one who's pushing this program, only leading them to be in a difficult path, such as the maintain of the infrastructure, the allocation for the food or something, and stuff like that, etc. And the second one is the Olympic Committee is the main reason who's allowing this coalition. And the second one is that the one is Olympic athlete, the one who didn't get picked due to based on luck. So we're moving into our goals that we would like our goal to be simple and very clear. So we would not allowing to form of Olympic coalition due to hiding potential of the athlete because they didn't got paid. So before I went into my argument, I would likely to divide my argument into 3 sections, which are based on the first one is that potential, the second one is the discrimination, and the third one or the last is the gradation of the sport industry. So I'll moving on into my first one, which is the potential. Okay, so with the mate of the Olympic coalition, this causing that 2 teams had to be merged into one team to represent the 2 countries to the national. But because of this causing that some of the members didn't get to be chosen as because due to lack of the quota of to get into the national teams, this causing that one of them didn't get the opportunity to show their full potential because many of you know that the one who didn't get the national team already had the potential and more talents and more skills to do than rather by the national team. So we would think so because of that it was likely to be coming due to the favoritism or the requirement money to come into the national committee. So you may ask why? Well, it's the base because not all of the team's member didn't have the same financial and had a financial struggle. This would will lead to be failed to be shown their potential as because they don't get into the national teams. So that is the first argument that I bring. So the second one is discrimination. Well, many of the well, because I will start that many of the athletes has many of the athletes has a winner based on the different region, based on different countries. So because of when the loser of the athlete who's been lose or the loser one feels enraged because wow, why would they giving the winners to the others athlete? Why not me? It's giving the unfair. So because of that they feel enraged because and also they try to uh, try to venting their anger out because do in different race. Some of them starting to mock the race and began to discriminate the race of it. So it will likely to leave a big scandal because one, the reputation of the athletes. Second is that the reputation by the countries, and the third one is it was basically ruining everyone's reputation because of one mistake from the athlete. So because of that, this this only causing many problems to the country, such as with the with the worst one is that to be blacklisted. So that's my second argument. Oh no, sorry. There also the same situation is that I mentioned before the start of the inclusion competition, Olympic competition. This allowing that only people with disabilities can join in. But because of this only causing it to be mocked by the global due to the indifferent abilities and the lack of their ability. So this would likely to be mocked by the global and creating a stereotype because of it. This became a literal discrimination because of their disabilities and only make them to be mentally brave because due to the indifferent abilities. So it would likely to pushing that it was the pushing to be mentally bullying that mental the disabilities. So that's all for my second argument. The third one is that degradation of the sport industry. With the many of athletes became the winner from one country, this only many feels hatred due because it came from the house, the country house. So the country house. So it would likely that many of them feels wow, it was really unfair. Why would they only giving the winners because winners from the same countries as the house? It doesn't make sense. Because of that, many of them leading to be much more conflicts, such as the feud between these countries, between the two countries, and much more. This making it to be political based because the government has to be involved, and because of that, this only decreasing the sport of industry. So in the end, in the end, we would oppose the we would oppose the Allied countries to form Olympic coalition.